So do you want to get to the existence of God?
You probably should.
All right, before we do this, this is going to be documented right here. This is a theory based on scientific and biblical examples. From the perspective of someone who does not like church, does not like religion, not because it's not somewhere for community, not because it's where people can love each other or anything like that, based on the fact that the only thing you ever see with church and religion is divide, which is the furthest thing from God. I'm pretty sure if God had church and religion in mind, he would have not made it in a way where it would have divide.
Go play devil's advocate. What was that? What if that was part of his whole plan all along?
That's right. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
With that said, please sit down and listen to this in a relaxed state, because if you don't, I am not responsible for your emotional reaction from this. Because trust me, I could hurt you. I could hurt you because it's going to be so eye-opening.
Do you remember that not everybody's brain is like your brain?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me that this is my normal, not everyone else's.
Correct.
So I am not held accountable for how you react to what I am about to say. I am also not held accountable for how your reality shifts. Noted. Okay. So we've talked about 3 individuals on here. A drug addict, a homeless person, someone who has gone through some seriously awful things in this life. If I had to take a step back and say, hey, here is this ball of mass. And all I was doing was simply sitting, observing the ball of mass, witnessing it internally, witnessing it on the outside, witnessing the whole ball of mass. And I was writing down notes. And taking data points. As some measurable unit of measurement. Without a doubt, after observing that ball of mass, writing down notes, and taking data points, without a doubt, I would say something is acting on that body of mass. Now go back in and take that body of mass and put the 3 people I talked on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can include myself. You can include you.
Yeah.
Right. So when we were talking about air, we were talking about gravity, you know that those things act on you.
Mm-hmm.
But God works in mysterious ways, and he works in ways that defy human logic.
Absolutely.
So of course you wouldn't believe it. Of course you wouldn't. Because it defies your logic of thinking. When instead of thinking, hey, this defies my logic of thinking, so it it's just, maybe like, what is that? What if? It's not like somebody invented something and they were like, this is going to work this way. They had to go, what if I do this? See, science says a lot. But so does the Bible. Could you?
Yeah, which one do you want?
Genesis is last.
Dang it.
So whichever one you want to pick. By the way, this is a Bible. I want to say that out loud because for some reason, whenever anybody sees a Bible, they're like, oh, here we go. But this is not how this is. This is not a book of stories. If I'm looking at this on a scientific level and I'm trying to prove something,
Okay.
this is a historical document.
If you're looking at it in a scientific lens, yes.
Right. So please open the historical document.
Which one do you want?
Whichever one, just the one is last. You know which one's last.
Yeah, I heard you.
So tell me one.
Well, this one's your favorite.
Okay.
So, Matthew 11.
Speak up, please. Do you want me to read it?
No! I heard you, but I was like getting situated. So, Matthew 11, 8, 28 says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest.
This is also why I don't like the Bible. I said this the other day and you hated me for it. I hate how that's put because to me, I just wanted to say, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.
And other translations do say that.
Right, and other translations say that. So when you say that the Bible hasn't been manipulated, there's proof.
I wouldn't call it manipulation. It's just worded different.
True, which is how someone's going to understand it. So if
Correct.
they don't read the right version,
Correct.
if they don't read,
Because some of them are word for word from translation. Some of them are thought for thought.
right,
And then there's the in between. That's why you have to find one that's right for you
they need
and
to
your mind and how your mind processes.
they need to write one on like a level of I'm an alcoholic drug addict. So speak to me on a level that I will understand.
And there's probably versions out there like that.
I hope so.
There's a Gen Z version.
I hope so.
There's a y'all version where instead of it saying you all, they replace it with
Oh
y'all.
man, I hate that.
You hate that.
So,
But yes.
but right. Do you want to know why that's my favorite Bible verse? That I've never read the Bible? The reason why that verse spoke to me so much didn't even, when I heard it, it didn't even like affect me.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that saved my life was that Bible verse. The reason why I know that verse is because the guitarist from Korn, the band Korn,
Mhm.
which if you're not aware of the lyrics in Korn, maybe you should listen to them and hear life from that perspective.
Or look them up. You want to feel it, listen to it.
Yes.
You just want to read it
Yes.
because their music, you have to be in a mindset.
Right. And if you're not, it's going to hit you.
Exactly.
Especially the song called Hey Daddy.
Because music is the universal language.
Mm-hmm. Korn's guitar player quit playing for a internationally known rock band that was known everywhere. Because he was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
And one day somebody loved him enough to look at him and say, hey man, I'm just going to say this to you. You can take it or leave it. But I want to tell you this Bible verse. Because the way you're living your life, you're not happy with. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And my, how truthful that verse is.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from someone who is not religious.
Correct.
So if I'm looking at a ball of mass and I replace myself with the ball of mass and I say, is something acting on this ball of mass?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that gave me rest, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, a higher power. But there are laws that this physical world live under.
Correct.
We know that energy is something you put off.
Correct.
You can feel it with other humans when they walk into a room and there's just this energy shift. If Joe Burrow walked up here right now, I guarantee you there would be an energy shift
Mm-hmm.
because of him and the person he is.
Correct.
So let's say that there is a God. If you believe that there is evil in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't believe in God, you are contradicting yourself on a physical world level.
Mm-hmm.
Because energy is not created nor destroyed. So if you have evil, then there has to be God. Because you know what the next one is? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Yes.
So if you believe in hell, and you believe in evil, you believe in witchcraft, you believe in whatever that's negative, you are admitting to yourself that you acknowledge the existence of God. There's no way around it. That is the universal law in this world. Newton wrote it down. Einstein, to the letter he gave to his daughter on his deathbed, said this.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to contradict the natural laws of energy in this world, and you say, I'm not going to believe it, that means you don't believe in nothing. You believe in nothing, okay? That's fine. You don't have to believe in anything. But nothing is something.
Mm-hmm.
The number 0, which is nothing, holds immense weight in mathematics.
Yes.
Sure, you can add or subtract nothing. You're right. But if you multiply nothing to something, guess what you get? Nothing. So if you go into life with a negative attitude and a negative mindset, you are not adding anything positive. So if you're multiplying your emotional energy and the energy you're putting out by 0, what does that equal? 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope my professor from college watches this, because he would be so fucking proud of me right now.
Yeah.
Those 2 engineering degrees and my physics degree did not go to waste.
They did not.
That's how I had to prove the existence of God to myself, by the way. I was taking a walk one day and I was like, I don't know about this whole God thing. I don't think there's an existence of God, because if there was, I wouldn't have gone through the things I've gone through in life, because God wouldn't have done that to me. But then, I didn't know it at the time, but life happens for you. So then I started thinking to myself, and I said, energy is not created nor destroyed. So if God is an energy level, let's say there's a higher energy level and there's a lower energy level. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, which means that, like you were saying, if the devil is there, maybe he's there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because the exact opposite reaction of evil is good. Which means that if I was thinking that God doesn't exist, because if he did exist, he wouldn't have done the things to me. And then I was like, wait a minute. If evil exists, then those things would have definitely happened to me. Which means that God exists.
Mm-hmm.
Do another Bible verse.
This is more than just one.
Okay, go.
It's a bunch of them. So
Speak up.
I will.
When you're reading the historical document that we are basing our data and research off of on the existence of God.
I obviously was going to speak up because of the weather. The verse is John 1 through 5. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Good. I want to be like, hey, God, could you prove your existence and just make lightning strike real quick?
Okay.
But he would never show himself that way.
He does.
He does. I've seen it on video.
He does.
Which was, don't leave that, which was said by an atheist. Which I need to say this about atheism. If you are a true atheist and you firmly believe that you are a true atheist, there's one thing about atheism that is the only pure way to be an atheist. Do you know what that is? The only real way to be an atheist is to acknowledge God's existence. The only thing about an atheist is they rebuke him. They have to acknowledge he exists, or they're not really atheists. Because then you're saying, I don't know what I don't believe in, but I'm not going to believe in what I don't believe in. Which means you're not believing in anything, which is something.
Mm-hmm.
So like that just said, in order to see the light, the only way to see the light is you have to go through the darkness. That is also on a scientific level. If you're walking through a dark room, guess how the only way you're going to find your way out? It's by seeing light.
Mm-hmm.
To the souls out there that are lost, that are still listening to this, all you have to do is see the light. And if you can't see the light through the darkness, all you have to do is say, help me, God. And I promise you he will. If you want to know how to feel God and prove it to yourself that he exists, ask him for help and do it every day and be grateful. I am grateful for my ex-girlfriend. I am grateful that not only was she put in my life, but I'm grateful that I was put into hers. Because like I told her, I would prove to her that God exists. But I'm grateful that she left. Because if she hadn't, I wouldn't have been capable of seeing the light. She gave me that little reminder that you can be grateful, you can live in the moment, but if you don't have a connection with God, you're going to stay in the darkness. Read another Bible verse. Which one's this one?
Surprise one I didn't tell you about.
Okay. Just making sure where we're at.
Yeah. It's Ephesians 5:8-10. For at one time you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true. And try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord.
We are all children of God.
Mm-hmm.
All of us. Even people who you look at and be like, why is that person like that?
Mm-hmm.
They are making decisions I wouldn't make because I've already done those mistakes. We are all children of God.
Yes.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like if you look at somebody and say, hey, they don't have a connection with God, they don't believe in God, they don't whatever, they just haven't reached the level of knowing God yet. So you can't be upset with them.
You have to have understanding.
You have to have understanding. So you can forgive them for the fact that they don't know what they don't know. Which is why I forgave my girlfriend as soon as she left. Because I was like, she doesn't know. And it's okay. Because there's nothing I can say or do to her that is going to get her to get it. Because we all have our own free will.
Yes.
And I can't make someone else see it. Just like air and gravity. All I can do is shine a little bit of light in darkness and hope that they walk towards it. That's about it. It's not controlling someone. It's not manipulating someone. Because that would be pushing it on them. You can't make someone see it. And they have their own free will.
Correct.
They have their own choice. They could either choose life or choose death. You are not allowed to make that decision for them. They have to do it themselves.
Absolutely.
Just enjoying the rain. Ready to go on the last? And this is the most important one. This is the one that I want you all to listen to.
Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him.
If you are still holding on to your reality, you might just want to find a soft place to land. You are created as an image of God. This one goes out to Elon Musk. Because this is what I spoke about programming and AI and how I have figured out how to AI program the human body. Fuck a computer. So what does AI have to say about that verse? AI suggests the phrase created in the image of God means that humans possess qualities that reflect the divine, such as creativity, compassion, and the capacity for love, reflecting an inherent value and dignity. Let me read that again. This is what AI says about the phrase, you are created as an image of God. Humans possess qualities that reflect the divine, such as creativity, compassion, and the capacity for love. What do we say on here all the time?
Love always wins.
Love always wins. Reflecting an inherent value in dignity. Which, by the way, I just want to say this. If love always wins, but you're choosing evil, you are a loser. If you behave in a negative way and don't treat humans the same way you want to be treated, you are on the losing team. When you behave in such a manner, this is why you will never have the things in life you want. Because you're on the losing team. But love always wins. I could make people feel God. But like you said, you can't completely just melt someone's sense of reality, dude. And I'm like, you're right. Because to me, it's normal. But then I remember the first time I felt that, and I was like, oh shit. And the first time I made you feel that, you had a rather wild emotional reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time I made somebody else feel that who does not believe in God. They had a rather panicky reaction. So I'm not going to affect somebody's sense of reality here. I will say this, though. Elon Musk, since you're supposed to be the smartest human on the face of the planet, I guess, that must mean that you're smarter than me. So, if you are capable of proving me wrong on the existence of God after I have used this historical document known as the Bible and scientific factual laws, I would love to hear it. But if you can't, since I have the ability to program someone with the AI, and I have the ability to say something that would completely crumble someone's sense of reality, but I'm not going to do it because I understand what that could do. If you can't prove me wrong, you can just go ahead and put $50 billion in my account, bruh. For all of the corruption that Doge is uncovering. The corruption. Maybe the intelligent thing to do here is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Maybe all of the corruption you're finding in the billions of dollars that were spent for bullshit, how about you put it in hands of people who are just going to spread peace, love, and joy on this earth and counteract all of the nonsense. Start shining a light in this world. It's just a number on the internet, bruh. True wealth is not in money. True wealth is your sense of self in your journey while you are here on this adventure in life, known as the human experience. Because all we are spiritual beings inside a physical energy life form, having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
When you boil life down, that's all this is. It's just a number on the internet, dude. $50 billion. Imagine all the good we could do. You just got to prove me wrong. But if you can't, 50 billion, dude. Because imagine all of the love, joy, and happiness we can instill in others to make our world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
Just to end it, since she won't allow me to say what I really want to say on here because I don't really care about people's sense of reality.
I'm making him have compassion.
She's making me compassionate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because you're right. I don't want to hurt people.
Exactly.
But I could make you feel this whole thing called God. Do you remember that? She's living proof.
Yeah. I wonder in a former life if you used to be like a deep southern preacher.
Maybe, you know.
Preach, tell him brimstone and fire.
Maybe.
Maybe
That's why I know it's in there.
Maybe.
You ready for this fact right here? This fact right here from that Bible verse you just read. From what AI says. You are created as an image of God.
Mm-hmm.
Let me repeat. You were created as an image of God. Therefore, you see, if someone doesn't hear that and believe it, then they're saying they don't believe that they are alive. Because then you're saying you don't exist. And you're not living and breathing on this planet. If you walk in front of a mirror and tell yourself this, I guarantee you, you will feel this thing called God. Go in front of a mirror and look at yourself and say, you are created as an image of God. Therefore, It's Cincinnati against the world. And God is at the helm.